So this is one of the variations of the Tal Rasha set that is used for farming T16 Rift Keys and also the Bounties in Diablo 3. There's different ways you can customize this build to your liking, but I'll show you what I use in this video here. We're going to use 5 pieces of the Tal Rasha set, starting off with the chest piece. Try to get attack speed on this one, along with 3 slots. Then on the gloves, try to get crit chance, crit damage, and area damage or resource cost reduction. On the belt, I have intel, vitality, resistance, and armor. For the legs, I have intel, vitality, armor, and 2 slots. It would be great if your necklace has lightning damage on it, but if you don't, then try to get crit damage and crit chance. The jewels that I put into the slots here, I put 3 yellow ones for resist all and also increasing my intel, and the red ones here at the bottom for armor, but it's really up to you. And here we have the Ring of Royal Grandeur, which reduces the set bonuses by 1. Having extra attack speed on here would be a good stat to have. For the bracers, we'll use the Ogild set. The 2 main stats you want are lightning damage and crit chance. The shoulders will also be the Ogild set. Try to get area damage and resource cost reduction on this one. The other ring is going to be the Halo of Carini. You take 80% less damage for 5 seconds after your storm armor electrocutes an enemy more than 15 yards away. The main stats you want on this are crit damage, crit chance, and area damage. The helmet is the Pride's Fall. The 2 main stats you want are crit chance and meteor damage. I'm not sure if this one can get arcane power on hit, as I didn't try, but those 2 stats should be enough. Your resource costs are reduced by 30% after not taking damage for 5 seconds. The 3 legendary gems we're going to use are Bane of the Trapped, which increases our damage to enemies affected by control impairing effects like being frozen, stunned, or slow. Bane of the Powerful for some extra damage after we kill an elite pack, and we also have some damage reduction in there. As for the 3rd gem, it's really up to you. I've seen some people use different gems here, so it's really based on what you need, but I like to run Molten Wildebeest Gizzard. It gives me a more powerful shield compared to the passive Galvanizing Ward. It's also because I almost never get to use this gem aside from a Z-Wiz build. The wand is going to be the Aether Walker. Try to get one with reduce all resource costs. This way you use less arcane power with your skills. Teleport no longer has a cooldown but costs 25 arcane. Then we have Nilfur's Boast, mainly for more meteor damage. Then the offhand, this is a rare one. It is the Cosmic Strand. Try to get the stats of crit chance, crit hits grant arcane power, and increase to meteor damage. The Cosmic Strand will give our teleport the Wormhole rune, which lets you teleport a second time within 3 seconds of the first teleport. You can also create this item by going to the blacksmith and forge weapons. In the source area, it is right there. So if you need it, you can make it anytime you want. And there you go, Cosmic Strand. Let's go over the passives. Unstable Anomaly will allow us to survive 1 death before we have to respawn. Astral Presence to increase our max arcane power and for some regeneration. Audacity to deal 30% more damage to enemies within 15 yards because we are going to be close most of the time. Dominance will give us an extra shield every time we kill an enemy. The effect can stack up to 10 times. We're going to use Meteor with the rune Thunder Crash. It's the lightning version. We want this one because unlike the other ones, this one will land on the ground much faster. We want quick damage so we can move on right after that. Teleport will have the rune called Calamity. It's based off the arcane damage type. Teleporting will create a wave of force that stuns enemies for 1 second. You're going to have a lot of mobility with a teleport. Explosive Blast with the rune Obliterate, it's based off the cold damage. This one just has to be casted once because we need to activate 4 attacks that hit with 4 different elements. We have Lightning from Meteor and Storm Armor, Arcane from Teleport, and Cold from Explosive Blast. So we need 4 different elements to proc all the perks from the Tal Rasha set. The last element we're missing is Fire. We get this from the Familiar skill. But when it comes to the rune, you have 2 options. You can use Sparkflint for more damage, or Arcanaut to generate more arcane power. The choice is really based on what you need. The next skill is Storm Armor. which is going to work with our Halo of Carini ring to reduce the damage we take. The rune I use is Power of the Storm. It will reduce arcane power costs of all skills by 3 while storm armor is active. That's why I wanted to use Halo of Carini for this build, but of course you can customize these options in whatever way is going to help you. This is just what I like to use. The last skill is Magic Weapon for 10% more increased damage. The rune I have on is Conduit. Enemies hit by your attacks restore up to 3 arcane power. The Tal Rasha set focuses on having 4 elements active to get the most benefits. The 2-piece will grant immunity to that element, the 4-piece bonus gives us more resistances, and the 6-piece bonus gives us more damage. We get Cold from Explosive Blast, Arcane from Teleport, Lightning from Meteor and Storm Armor, and Fire from Familiar. Once all 4 elemental bonuses are up, all you have to do is cast Meteor before it expires. This way all the buffs will stay active. The follower I like to use for this build is the Templar, mainly for the Inspire skill, which can generate 1.4 arcane per second. The rest of the skills are optional. Since we're teleporting around the map and killing everything really fast with lightning meteors, the Templar won't really get a chance to use its other skills. And as for the gear, we have the cane set for pants and boots combined with the Royal Ring of Grandeur to get the 3-piece bonus for more rift keys. You get this from Bounties. Gloves of Worship. Shrine effects last for 10 minutes. You also get this one as a reward from certain bounties. Nemesis Bracers to spawn an enemy champion when you touch a pylon or shrine. This helps you progress through the rift a bit faster. And Flavor of Time. Pylon effects last twice as long. The rest of the gear is optional, but I do have the Blind Faith to blind enemies on hit, Homing Pads so I can teleport to town a bit more safely, Thunder Fury to slow enemies on hit, Cord of Sherma to blind enemies within a chaos field, Oculus Ring for more damage if you need it, Freeze of Deflection to freeze enemies when blocking, and the Tal Rasha chest piece for more attack speed. The relic I gave him is the one that prevents him from dying, because even though it is T16, they don't really die that often, but I just want to guarantee he stays alive because I want to have that Inspire skill always active to regenerate my arcane power. So as you enter a normal rift, you'll want to activate all your skills like Explosive Blast once for cold, Familiar for fire, Storm Armor for defense and arcane power reduction costs, Magic Weapon to generate arcane power on hit, and Toss Meteors for lightning. Teleporting will have arcane damage. This should give you all 4 Tal Rasha elemental buffs right away. From there, just teleport around. When you see an elite, the teleport will cause a wave of force that stuns them, and then just toss a lightning meteor down on them. Keep teleporting around the map, repeating the same process. There's a few pieces of gear you can change within this build to better suit your needs. This is just what I prefer to run for T16 with the Tal Rasha build. You can swap out a gem or passive and get more power if you want, or more defense. It's really up to you and what you need. This build lets you move around the map really fast with teleport while having plenty of armor and resistance while you toss meteors on enemies. You also should have plenty of resource cost reduction and generate arcane power over time and on hit. There's still some room to change a few items around to fully optimize it for your playstyle, but it all depends on how your build is going and what you need the most. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.